Hi friends! It's the last day of January 2023 and I am going to show you my sketchbook so far for this month. I bought this acid-free paper sketchbook for 50 kroner. That is about $5. Pretty close. This is one of the sketches I painted yesterday. So it's already January 6th when I started using it. And I was reading a lot about Edvard Munch and also Van Gogh. And this word, forventning, it means anticipation maybe. Could be translated that way. The birds are part of a project or a study for a watercolor I did. This one's been painted with Chinese ink, just like this sketch here, where I also used student grade watercolor. As you can see, the red isn't very bright. Like even if it was the same water out and it's mixed with some ink as well, but the pigment quality isn't excellent. But it works for the sketch, and it's also just a scrap of paper I found on my table. Just grabbed it and painted this. And I can mention I used a Chinese brush. Maybe it was this one or a similar. So I love painting with those. So let me just show you that watercolor that these sketches were preparation for. I like the contrast between the flowers and the bird, having used a photo reference for the bird, and the flowers are just from my imagination. Yeah. Moving on in my sketchbook, this is too wide or tall to show you the right way around. But these are my Lego flowers. Yeah. Drawing some women having a hard time. There's pain. I don't know if her hand looks like more like a book, open book, or maybe a brush. That's funny. And reading all about Vincent van Gogh, I was inspired to draw a little sunflower, excuse me. And here I splattered some paint drops on the page and just used my breath to blow it into little branches, and I really like the effect of it, how it actually looks like trees. Yeah, and I added these Chinese brush strokes. They're kind of out of proportion with the branches, but it's okay. It's just a sketchbook. Yeah, this is one of Van Gogh still lifes. And here is, this was drawn with ink and pen, or rather coffee as ink, with a nib. And it's a I don't know this painter, but he's contemporary with Van Gogh, Mangan. And here the sketch is from Imagination. I wanted to improve on, I have this still life painting. It's rather big scale, and I was thinking of how I could give the flowers these kind of hanging stems. And here's, it's from a Japanese print. Kuneyoshi. Here's a portrait from a photograph of John Eldridge. And I used coffee, as you can tell by the color. Actually looks a lot like sepia, I think. The word here is gemstone, edelstein. The interesting thing about these drawings is that on my left hand, I used my left hand, and this on right side, I also used my right hand, which is my dominant hand, and I'm much more like the lefty bit. I also painted it using my left hand, so that was an experiment. Trying some of my watercolors, just testing how they blend. And I did this landscape, and I can see some of the inspiration from studying Van Gogh. He used a lot of short brushstrokes, colors, a lot of movement in his paintings. Some more coffee art. And this is a portrait of young Vincent. He was 19 years of age. And I tried to make some corrections at his chin and forehead, and the paper didn't really enjoy that treatment. Because it's just sketch paper, but I think it turned out okay, and I really enjoy the coat. And I'm sure many of you recognize Vincent's sunflowers. He painted a lot of those, like several. He copied himself and made different compositions as well. This is one of those sketches where I'm watching TV and I'm just painting inspired by what I'm watching. Again, here I'm drawing and painting inspired by some of those Japanese prints that inspired the artists of the 1800s. And this drawing, and it has like this coffee wash as well. It's from a book teaching the basics of drawing that also Vincent van Gogh used for his studies. He was an ardent student. He studied on his own as well as in different art schools. Okay, so this is from my imagination. I saw this picture of a woman, an artist, and I think this book might last me a couple of months more, 2 or 3, depending on, the frequency. So that's it for this sketchbook of the month of January. Thanks for watching. Bye.